Hey guys, it's Windy from Windys.Art. Welcome back to my channel. So the Christmas coming up, I want to show you 3 different ways to paint Christmas cards. And this is polar bear, snowman, and Christmas tree. Now if you're ready, grab your pens and paper and let's start painting. Before painting, I prepare 3 pieces of watercolor paper and cut them into the same size, so once they're finished, they can be sent out like a Christmas card. Then I start my sketch. As always, I draw out the basic shape, and for the bear card, I also draw out the patterns in the background, so it's easier for the coloring process later. Before start painting, I like to mix the colors in advance, so it's ready to use while coloring. Then I start with the snowman painting. I apply paint directly on the dry paper, and I also add clean water to soften the hard edges. While the paper is still wet, I quickly add some salt on it because the salt will absorb the paint, so this will create a snow-like effect. This is what we want for the background. Because the snowman is white, so adding a darker background can offset the body. You can see that I add colors quite quickly. This is why I mix the colors in advance, otherwise the paper will dry out after you finish mixing colors. And also try to sprinkle the salt evenly on the paper so the snow effect looks better after drying. Once the background is done, let it dry. While waiting for the snowman to dry, I move to the second painting. Same as before, I mix the colors in advance. And I want to create a colorful Christmas tree for this card, so I apply the base layer on, then quickly add darker shades around the edge while the paper is still wet. This way the color blends out nicely. I also add some yellow shades around the top areas to enrich the color. As you can see here, I continue painting from the third layer of the tree because I want to let the top layer dry a little bit before I paint the second layer. This way you don't need to worry about the color blending through each other. For this layer, it's the similar painting process as before. After adding the base layer, I add some darker shades around the top area, and I also add some textures. Notice that I avoid the decorations on the tree while coloring. We will work on that later. While coloring, I sometimes lift up the paper and tap it gently on the table to let the color flow down more easily. Then continue the same painting process until you're finished. Now the snowman is about dry, so I go back to it and remove the salt from it. Then I start adding the branches for the arm. After I'm done with that, I add the head to the snowman. I try to use dark color to offset the white areas. For the scarf, I first add the base layer, then I add darker shades around it while the paper is still wet, and this will create the natural blending color. After that, I add very light shadows to the snowman so it pops out more. Finally, move to the last painting. So the first step, simply outline it with some blue and purple tone color. And while painting the outline, I also add some details to the fur as you can see here. Then I add darker shades in the outline. After that, I add light shadows on the bear. I like to use clean water to soften the hard edges for the shadows so it looks more natural. For the scarf, I first outline the shape, then I add simple patterns on it. After that, I strengthen the shadows where the scarf is overlapping. Then continue the same process for the other bear. For the patterns in the background, I first pan out the base layer, then quickly add darker shades around the tip and the center areas. And as you can see here, I hold two brushes in hand, one for adding base layer and the other one for adding darker shades, so you don't have to constantly rinse your brushes. Then continue the same painting process until you're finished. Now the painting is about done here. Comment below and let me know if you have any questions. That's all for today's video. I really hope it's helpful and if you enjoyed it. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell so you never miss out on my weekly art videos and tutorials. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye!